As pork producers gear up for another volatile year, it's opening new trade doors that remains a top concern for leaders.
Last year in 2012, we exported 27% of our product. The world knows where to come to get quality pork.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture says despite trade barriers, net pork exports have increased nearly 11-fold since 2000. National Pork Producers Council says free trade agreements, specifically the Trans-Pacific Partnership, are a main focus when it comes to developing more trade opportunities.
Even though we export a lot of pork product to Japan, we are paying gate prices. There are some restrictions that are there. And we think through this negotiation, if we can bring those tariffs down to zero, if we can remove all non-tariff trade barriers like we've done with South Korea, like we've done with Panama, like we've done with Colombia, we've got a great opportunity to double our exports to Japan, which is a phenomenal market.
Another agreement in the works is the U.S.-EU trade agreement. Spronk says expectations are for the EU to eliminate tariffs and barriers. Not everyone is as bullish on the trade opportunities with Europe, seeing it as a constant struggle.
The toughest battle is almost always the EU. They're pros at protectionism, and my experience is every time we solve one issue with the EU, they find another one.
The main issue is always gaining access to new trading partners. Meyer says when looking at China, the recent Smithfield acquisition may play in the pork industry's favor.
I think it probably causes our exports to China to grow faster than they otherwise would have. I think they were going to grow anyway. But this probably kind of greases the skids on those some.
One barrier for trade in countries like China and Russia is product that contains the feed additive ractopamine. Many in the pork industry say countries banning exports due to ractopamine is just smoke and mirrors.
We know that there's probably countries that they're using ractopamine, but yet they want to keep pork from the outside out, and they're using this as a trade barrier.
I think people are going to bring these up all the time. Sometimes they're going to be legitimate, maybe. Often they won't be, but that doesn't mean they won't come into play.
I think eventually technology and science will win out.
But if a customer demands a product a certain way, Meyer says it's the U.S. pork producer's job to provide them what they want.
I don't have a problem taking people ractopamine-free product as long as they pay for the $5 a head that we have to leave on the table by not using the product.
Despite different obstacles and demands, leaders say the work being done will help U.S. pork exports to continue to grow. Reporting from the World Pork Expo in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Tyne Morgan for AgDay.
Thanks, Tyne. Tomorrow on AgDay, Tyne will see how consumer demand is driving some changes in the pork industry.